Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm Ellie and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I achieve this look. This is what I tend to wear if I want a bit more of a dressy, kind of amped up makeup look to my normal day-to-day makeup. So if you want to see how I achieve this look, do keep on watching. Okay, so I've already prepped my skin and everything that I use and that I talk about I will leave links to down below. But I've been doing my makeup slightly different than what I did in my get ready with me when I was on a holiday. I've been wearing eyelashes recently, wearing eyeshadow, a different foundation. I really have kind of mixed up a little bit and I've really been enjoying it. Okay, so starting with foundation, the one that I've been using at the moment and pretty much for the whole of September, the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. I've been using the shade 40 Fawn. It is a little bit darker with concealer. It does slightly lighten, so it's not too bad, so don't come for me in the comments saying my foundation's too dark, because it does work. With this foundation, I feel like it lasts all day, especially with wearing a mask. In work I wear a mask as well as a visor, so there's a lot of condensation going on and a lot of steaming up, and I feel like this stays put. To blend it in, I've been using the Real Techniques 302 brush. It's just a really nice buffing foundation brush, and I just start by stippling pretty much it all over my face, and then I blend it in with a foundation brush. I just find that this way it gives me the best coverage, and then I go in with my beauty blender after just to kind of blend any last bits out. So once I've blended that out with my brush, I'm then taking my big Real Techniques sponge. Literally, if you have not tried the massive one, it is a game changer. You just kind of go around the perimeter really, like my ears, my neck, and my nose. I find that it needs a bit more blending out, and then that is it. And because it is bigger than say a normal one, look at the difference, mental. So yeah, I reach for this all the time now. Then for concealer, I'm using the E.L.F Hydrating Camo Concealer. This has got the satin finish. Now I do actually have the 16-hour Camo Concealer. They're both in light peach, but today I'm going to use the hydrating one, which actually my mum's, but it's because I've run out of this. Let's see how this goes. I'm just gonna pop a little bit under my eyes and then just in the center. And what I tend to do is blend the outer edges out first, especially under my eyes, and then I'll then go in and do the corners with the other side of the sponge. With the pointed tip, I just find it's really easy just to kind of get in. Then I'm just going to go back in with just a little bit more concealer and just pop it on my eyelids just to prime my eyes. Then I'm going to be using another Real Techniques brush. This is the Targeted Blending Brush. I've had this for ages, but I've never found a use for it until I used it one day to blend out my concealer to prime my eyes, and I was like, oh my god. And then to set everything, I'm using the Rimmel Match Perfect Silky Smooth Loose Setting Powder. I have used this for so long. I do really want to try Holly Boon's new loose powder, which I've been dying to try, so I think I might pick that up just so I can kind of try it against this one. To apply that, I use this Crayolan powder puff, and I literally just pick up a bit of product and then squish this in half, kind of fold it and press this under my eyes. I love using a puff. At first I was using a dry beauty blender, but I found it was slightly caking under my eyes, whereas this kind of feels almost like a cotton pad, but a little bit fluffier, and I feel it allows me to pack the product into all the creases without kind of applying too much. What I pick up one time will literally cover my whole face. Once I've packed my powder on my face, I'm then going to go in with this Beauty Works powder brush and literally just dust everywhere over my face just to kind of get off the excess powder. So recently for bronzer, I've just been using a powder one. In the summer, I was using a cream kind of concoction, but I found it was just kind of making my skin look quite muddy. So I've just been using a powder bronzer. This is the Makeup Forever Pro Fusion Bronzer. I've had this for a little while now and I just love it. I find it's the perfect colour. It's really nice and tanned. It blends so easily. It looks really dark in the pan actually. But once I've like buffed it into the skin, it looks so beautiful, it lasts all day and I don't have to touch up. To apply, I've been using the BH Cosmetics 125 brush, and I literally just pick up the product and just buff over my cheekbones and then up to my temples, and then sometimes I'll take it through the crease of my eye just so it kind of all connects. I just feel it gives a really nice warmth and like subtle definition to the skin. Then using a fluffy brush, I then pick up a little bit of the product and I just dust it along the sides of my nose just to kind of shadow it slightly, so it's not like I'm doing major contour like nose surgery on my nose. It's just kind of defining it, just because sometimes I feel like once you've bronzed up like the perimeter of your face, your nose slightly disappears, and I just kind of want to bronze it up almost like the sun's just like naturally tanned my nose. And then I'll go over with my blending brush, which I use for my bronzer, and just blend anything out. Today for blush, I'm going to be using MAC Melba. This is a classic for me. I've literally had this since I was about 15 again, and it's just a blush that I've always repurchased. It's never changed from MAC. Fingers crossed they don't change it now that I've said it, but it's just such a nice peachy, warm toned blush that I feel complements everyone's skin. I use this on pretty much all my clients. Especially if they want kind of a real peachy matte blush, it's perfect. And I'll literally just dust it on the back of my cheeks. I hate blush that's really on like the apples of your cheeks, and I just find that this blends really nicely with my bronzer. Then for highlighter, I'm going to be using this one from Estée Lauder. This was from a Bronze Goddess collection and it's in number 1 Heatwave. This is such a lovely finely milled highlighter. It is just beautiful, and I'm going to be using this Morphe R36 brush. I literally just pick up a small amount and then I dust over my cheekbones and my nose, and then I'll go back in and like blend it. So I like to kind of put the product down first in the areas and then I'll go back in. I tend to put highlighter here instead of down the bridge of my nose, just because I feel like when you turn to the side, it's a lot more natural and it is naturally where the light would hit, and obviously that is what you're creating when you're highlighting. Okay, so once my base is done, I then have been taking a setting spray or like a rose mist. This is the one that I've been using currently, and it's the Garnier Rose Soothing Glow Mist. This is so nice. If you buy anything from this video, make sure it's this. Honestly, it melts your makeup into your skin so beautifully. It takes away any powderiness. It just adds a really nice glow without kind of an oily residue. It's just so lovely. Essentially, it's just a water with rose extract in. But I literally just spray it all over. And even like the way it sprays, it's such a fine mist. And I think it was like under £5 from Boots or Superdrug, so it's really affordable. Okay, so once my base is done, then I move on to my eyebrows. I'm just going to brush them through first. Just make sure that they're all kind of facing upwards. Okay, so for my eyebrows, I've mentioned this before that I do soap brows. For the sake of the video, I'm just kind of quickly going to show you what I do. So I've got some soap on my spoolie mixed with some water, and I literally just brush this through my brows, and this will just hold them in place all day. I feel it gives a more laminated, fluffy look, and that is what I feel suits my face better. Okay, Okay, so then I move on to my eyes. Now, I don't do this every day. Most days I do just wear mascara, but recently I have been putting on a little bit of eyeshadow and some eyelashes if I've been going out or if I just kind of want to amp my makeup up a little bit more. So I'm going to start off by using my bronzer again with a fluffy brush. I feel like this just kind of warms up the look and it makes it really easy to then blend any other eyeshadows over the top of it. So I'm just going to buff this through my crease ever so slightly. So once I've done that, the eyeshadow palette that I've been reaching for recently is the 35OS from Morphe palette. This is like the shimmer addition to the 35O palette. So they're all shimmer shades, and what I love is that they're so pigmented. If you've never tried a Morphe palette, I feel like everyone has, but if you haven't, honestly, for the price and the quality that you receive, it just does not add up. Like, it's so affordable. I think I got this and the matte edition, and I think I paid like £35 for 2 palettes, and they've both got 35 shades in them, so it's ridiculously cheap. So recently I have been using this shade here, which is just a really neutral shimmery shade, and then I will sometimes kind of bronze it up with like this little shade down here just to make it a little bit more bronzy and like warmer. So I'm going to take this first shimmery shade with a flat shader and just press this all over my eyes. This looks mad, but sometimes tugging my eyelids slightly gives a better payoff. I can't do that without holding and like looking into my mirror. I can't do it just on camera. Then on a tapered blending brush, so like this slightly smaller one, I'll then go in with that second shade, which is slightly bronzier, and I'll just pat this into the outer corner and just buff this through just to warm it up a little bit. And I also then use this just to blend out any edges towards that front shimmery shade. Then using a flat definer brush, I then pick up like a darker brown. I'm going to be using this one today, and I'm just going to be smudging this along my lash line. I haven't been using like a cream pencil or a liquid eyeliner recently because I feel like sometimes for daytime it can look a little bit harsh, and I want to kind of keep everything quite soft. So I'm literally just going to stamp this along my lash line, and it also makes your eyelashes look fuller, especially if you're not a lash, like a false lash wearer, and you're just going to be wearing mascara. This is a really good kind of technique to make your eyelashes look fuller and create a bit more volume to the lash base. So once I've done that, I'm then going to go back in with this shade here, which I used on the outer corners of my eyes, just with a small brush. This one is a shading brush from Real Techniques. Now I'm just going to pack some of this on and use this underneath my lash line, because I feel like on my eyes it's so easy to make my eyes look really dramatic, and especially with eyelashes it just kind of looks like I've overdone it for daytime if I use anything too dark. So with a colour like this, it's just perfect to kind of make sure everything's connected, and whatever I've done to the top I've kind of brought down to the bottom. So I'm just going to buff this underneath. Then I'm going to be using this colour here just to highlight my brow bone and inner tears up area. I just find that this is a really nice subtle highlight for under the brow bone. Because I've got quite fluffy brows, I don't want to create like a stark white highlight under my brows. And I use a fluffy brush and I feel it just disperses the product really nicely. Then I'm going to be using the By Terry Lash Expert Twist Brush Mascara. I got this for my birthday, and at first I did think, why has my mum got me a really expensive mascara? Like, I'm really content with just a Maybelline or a Revlon one, but this is different. So it starts off with the brush like so just like a normal brush, and then you twist the bottom to number 2 and it goes like all spirally, and then that is what creates the volume. So number 1 creates the length and number 2 creates the volume, which is perfect because I always use like 2 mascaras, or I'll go in with like 2 layers, but I find having it in one is so convenient. because I'll be wearing eyelashes, I just want a real kind of light coat of mascara just so it kind of darkens my eyelashes. So I'm going to move on to my lips just whilst the glue is drying. I'm going to start off with the lip liner, and this is Max Oak. And then I'm going to be using the Nars Rowdy Velvet Matte Lip Pencil. These are so lovely. I've actually got a few, really like creamy, but still have a matte finish, and they don't slip and slide, they don't transfer. I'm just going to overline areas of my lips. I'm just going to start lining. Okay, so this is the finished look. I really hope you did enjoy watching me do my makeup. If you want to see any more makeup looks, do let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and I will see you all in my next one.